Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Our next show on Western Dressage, we are going to be working with Sadie, my youngest Morgan, on travers, renvers, and half pass in teeny weeny baby steps, because last time we tried to take a few childlike steps, you know, maybe adolescent steps, we realized she wasn't even ready for those. We're going to teach her to bring her hips over gently, without stress, get a slight arc in her neck one way or the other for travers and renvers, and then take the giant step someday of doing half pass. And this is going to help us. This was copied from a book about classical dressage. But I'm putting it away for now because Sadie's not ready for that. I'm just going to do something very basic with Sadie, and it doesn't even come from classical dressage. It comes from RFD TV, Ken McNabb's show on rider position, posture, posture, posture. He had a beginning rider. Now, Sarah's not a beginning rider, but Scott is, and he's going to be doing some of this on his own time to learn a little bit more about how to ride, because he wants to go out on the trail. But what I am always very careful about with my horses is that people who are beginning riders do not think that they're going to control my horses with the reins. The reins are just fine-tuning. They're not going to get a stop by hauling back on the reins. They're not going to stay in the saddle by hanging onto the reins or even onto the horn. They're going to stay in the saddle with posture. And I'm going to explain what Ken McNabb did in this show, and I hope you have a chance to watch it. But we're going to use an extra tool today. We're going to use this neck ring that I made from a piece of cable. And you can buy neck rings, but I made this after having seen the one that Linda Tellington-Jones sells. It's a very nice neck ring made out of lariat rope. I made one here with cable. And I've done a couple shows on it in the past. A neck ring is very good for transition between no reins and reins. Now, I am not going to ask Sarah to ride Sadie without reins at all unless she at least has the neck ring for control. And what we need to do with Sadie today, because we realized it when we used her a couple days ago to do some cow work with Sela, is we need to get Sadie to understand from body position, from posture, 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 how to hold. So I'm going to hold on to this line for now, but I'm going to ask Sarah to back Sadie with her body position, with her posture, and then I'm going to advise Sarah that we learned this about the neck ring. If, when you ask Sadie after you asked her to go forward, to stop, if she doesn't stop, if you bring the neck ring up like this under her throat latch and pull back, just kind of it's kind of an in-between between a rein stop and a posture stop. Okay. So, and since I'm still recuperating from my hip replacement, I'm going to ask Scott just to hold on. We're not using this other than for safety. Now, Sarah, see if you can back Sadie by bringing your legs a little bit forward, going out and in, okay? Tucking your butt and ask for her back. And then if she doesn't back for you, Scott and I will help by giving her some other cues, okay? Ask her. Back. Back.
Who?
Pick up the neck ring and put a little bit of pressure on her neck when you ask for it.
Back. Back.
Misunderstanding. We need to be a little bit more demanding.
Who?
Yes, a little bit more leg. Stand in front. Give her a visual block. Back.
Back.
Back. Back. No way.
Who?
We're going to stop the camera and go get our blue flag, because that will help. Another tool. Here's our blue flag, a real valuable tool. We also put the snaffle bit on with the yacht rope reins. And this is the particular rig that I have that has these slobber straps. Because as soon as we're done cueing with the reins, the slobber straps will drop immediately and take the pressure away. Now we're not going to use the reins unless we absolutely have to. What we're going to do is try again with body position, posture. Put the yacht rope around your horn.
Up here?
Yeah.
That's going to put pressure on her.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, it's long enough. The reins are long enough. Okay. So they're there just if we have to pick them up. Use the neck rein to pull back a little bit.
Okay.
But you see, when you're, that's a problem. You see how you're leaning forward?
Mm-hmm.
Forget the neck rein for now, because your body posture is going to tell her you want her to back. And we'll try to help you. Okay, now, your feet, here's what Ken McNabb warns about the legs. You're going to have your heels down, your toes slightly out. You're going to be almost standing in your stirrup, but no air between your seat and the saddle. So you're going to then use your seat and your posture and your position to tell the horse what you want. And you're going to keep the weight on the ball of your foot, but not stand. All right, let's try again.
Back.
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 Back. Back.
Back.
Okay, pick up the reins. We're not getting it yet. Maybe by association we will. When you're ready, pull back, but only a tug and let go. Tug and let go.
Who?
Get her to back.
Who? Back.
Tug. There you go. Okay, tug. She got the idea because we're using the reins, and isn't that what everybody always depends on? We don't want to, especially if we're going to be doing cow work, because when you're doing cow work, you want to put the reins on the neck and say, horsey, do it. Follow that cow. Turn that cow. Keep that cow from getting the herd. Put that cow in the pen. Okay, so remember, put your weight on your pockets and your back slightly behind your center. Okay? And then look over her head. Look over her head.
Back.
Steady, hope.
I think you can let go of the lead line now that she has the reins as a backup. So let's take the lead line off, Scott. I think that a little bit confusing to have you there standing.
No, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Try it now, Sarah. Look over.
Back.
No, reins. Use your reins.
You want me to?
We have no choice right now. She's
Back.
not getting the cue. Back her up. Back her up.
Back.
Back her up. 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 Keep going. Now, if you don't get a good back when you ask for it, you're not communicating with your horse. Now, I have to stay out of the way because I can't be pushed around. And, of course, Scott is new to this, so he's going to stay out of the way. Go ahead, Sarah. Get her. Look over her ears. Over, through her ears.
Who? Back. Back.
Shorten your reins. Slide your hand down the reins. Slide your hand down the reins. Keep your elbows from going behind your back. Look over her ears.
Back.
Once you get her going, keep going. But give and take, give and take. I have never seen Sadie misbehave this much. Not in years when we ask for her back. So there's some kind of confusion
Hey.
in her mind. We're going to just have to help her understand, because she will do it. I'm going to go over here. Stand by. Sarah is doing the right thing, distracting her with what she knows how to do, what she understands. Can you hear me with the mic?
Who?
No. Okay. So bring the barrel a little closer. Can they step up?
Girl.
The reason we're doing this is we want to have her back, step forward, and get a stop without the reins.
Who? back.
Have you ever had trouble like this getting Sadie to back?
No, she's not normally like this. Back.
Try to get a little more collection, a little more break at the pole. We need to get her focus back. We need to make her not afraid.
Hey.
This is September 1. In beginning October, if all goes well, I should be able to ride, and I'm pretty sure I could get up on Sadie right now and get her to back. But I'm not positive. It's been a couple months since I've ridden. And Sadie is very confused right now. Good. Okay, back, back. Wait, slide your hand down the yacht rope reins. That's it. Okay. Better, better. Stop and rubber. Don't patter. Rubber. Good. Now, a few steps forward and get her to stop first with the reins, then go a few more steps, put the reins behind your horn, and get her to stop by bringing that neck ring up to her throat latch. Okay. And if not, grab the reins. Resistance. We got to work on getting that break at the pole. Okay, put the rope around your horn. Be ready. Okay. When you ask her to stop, try not to use both hands at the same time. She's getting upset by having pressure with both hands on the reins. Do a bump, 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 right, left, right, left. That's it. That's it. And that gets her to break at the pole, too. Up at her throat latch, and she doesn't have as much. Look over her ears, a lot to think about. Beautiful. Oh, okay. You know what? That is all we're going to do today. It's our moment of resolution. You've seen a lot of bad answers, but you saw the right answer. We're going to continue practicing this way, and next time we ride Sadie, in front of a camera, we hope we'll be able to ride with the neck rein and get a good back and a good stop. But for now, because what's the whole purpose of this half-pass Part 3 Western Dressage show, this episode? We need to get to be able to move Sadie's body parts. And we know from the work that we did with Semi last time at the end of Part 2, that Semi was really good about moving her hips over. She got a little bit confused about giving us the proper arc for whether or not we're doing traverse or renverse. Now, do you remember the renverse was just coming down the short side of the fence to the corner and then try to move that hip out? I think it was out.
It's inside.
In. He'll move the hip in for traverse, right? Okay. And then at the same time, you need to get the arc. But that's a lot to ask. So for now, let's see if you can just make a circle around us. Come up the short side. When you get to the corner, while you're still in the corner, you're asking for the hip to move. And then you're just going to go on a little bit down the long side of the fence. We hope without getting her, Sadie, confused.
So you just want me to do the traverse?
Well, the traverse is also asking for the proper arc.
You just want me to move her butt to the inside?
I just want, right. I think breaking it down into teeny weeny baby steps is going to be absolutely necessary for youngster Sadie. All right, let's see what happens when you try it. Let's go over here, out of the way. Careful, your spurs are kind of touching her when I don't know if you mean to. Spurs are great, but use them the way you intend to use them. Look where you're going. Try to get the hip pushed out. Forget about trying to get the arc.
Good girl.
There you go. That's our baby step.
Good girl.
On teaching Sadie traverse. Let's do it one more time. That was easy, huh? Okay. It is so confusing. Which arc do you want with which hip over? I believe if the hip is coming out, you want to see the outside of her inside eyeball. If you can possibly, with your right hand, just do a little bit of a bump. See if you can get it. She might get confused. She might start biting at her bit. So yeah, she starts moving, moving faster.
Girl.
Good girl. Okay. You know, what does a touch on the side of the body mean to a horse? Depends what they've been trained to understand. She thinks that when Sarah touches the side of her body, she's supposed to change her speed. But okay, not this time. What she's supposed to do is move her hips over, bend her neck slightly.
Good girl.
Yes, and go in a straight path. And that is the traverse. So without speeding up, we need to keep speed. We need to keep speed steady. Now, 2 deer just walked by. How was she? A little nervous. We have a lot of wildlife here at Shadrack Farms, and that's the way we're going to end this show for today. Julie Goodnight had a wonderful show on RFD TV this week about rounding the back, powering from the haunches, and getting that stretch in the neck. A young gal had a thoroughbred, a gorgeous thoroughbred that was just up-headed and tense. Julie Goodnight got up on that horse and got that horse to bring its head down, round its back, and power from its hind end, when at first it was just powering entirely from its front end. And it was almost illogical what she did, but I'm going to ask Sarah to do it with Sadie as she comes around. Sadie's actually not being too up-headed, but what Julie did, Sarah, was she lifted her hands. When the right shoulder went forward, she tugged ever so slightly on the right rein, lifting your hands. The little gal on that thoroughbred thought that if she pulled back with the reins, she'd get the head down. And in fact, that made it worse. The thoroughbred just pulled against it. So Julie actually lifted higher. And then make sure, if she's not giving you the frame that you want, make sure that you keep the pressure going. Tug, 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 back and forth. When in tune with the shoulder coming forward. If the left shoulder is forward, then you're going to tug with the left rein. Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, now as soon as she gives you frame, as soon as she gives that neck down, which she isn't quite doing, not like the thoroughbred, but of course she's a Morgan, so she may not.
Yeah.
Then you immediately bring your hands forward to give her relief from pressure. And she will understand what the right answer is by relieving the pressure. At the same time, if you feel like she's powering from her haunches, leave her be. But if she's not, squeeze a little bit with your legs, just ever so slightly. And it wouldn't hurt to squeeze left and right, I don't believe, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to watch the show again. We need to get the frame. We need to get the rounded back. We need to get the relaxation in the neck and the stretch in the neck. We need to get Sadie to work off her haunches, which my horses are pretty good about that because we do so much cow work preparation here. We need to get that before we do neck rings, before we do renvers and travers, and definitely before we try to combine the travers with the renvers to get the half pass. Then there's another thing I want to show today. Sarah wasn't here, but Katie was working with Sadie, and we were having trouble getting Sadie to tuck her butt when she gave us a stop. And I've seen several other shows on RFD TV about getting the stop, not with the reins, but with the posture in the saddle. So as you come by here in front of the camera, without pulling back on the reins, what I want you to do is kind of tuck your butt. I want you to sit on your pockets and ask for a whoa. Nice and loud so Sadie hears it. And that's it, that's it, that's it. Good. We've got to do a lot of that because when you're working a cow, which is what we were doing the other day, the message has to come from the body, the legs, the voice, not from the reins, because we're trying to get away from the reins and let the cow be worked by the horse and the horse's mind. But stop is very important. Okay, let's go around again. And then do a nice whoa without the reins. Remember to bring your hand up, not back. I think she's responding quite well.
She's been doing good.
Yeah. We're going to do this with Eve next because Eve is Sadie's mom. Eve tends to get stressed and bring her head up. Always has. So tell us when you're going to ask for a whoa, and let's watch whether or not Sadie whoas with her haunches tucked.
I'm going to ask for a whoa as soon as we get out of this corner.
Now.
Oh.
And no reins. I can see that you did not pull back on your reins.
Good girl.
And that's what we're trying to do. No reins. As a matter of fact, that's why we're going to the neck ring. Let's try that. Come on over here. Put the yacht rope reins around your horn. Wait, before you do that, let me put this homemade neck ring on, because we have done a lot of work with neck ring in the past. It's all right, darling. It's all right. Okay, let me bring this through first. Okay. And what we have pointed out in the past is the neck ring can give you good signals left and right, but when you want to whoa, it's better to bring it up to under the throat latch.
Okay.
So let's combine your body language and bringing this up to here with a nice brisk verbal cue, and let's see if we can get a good whoa from Sadie, because we're trying to get away from bridles, bits, and even reins. Now she's a little bit concerned.
Who?
Bring it up, bring it up. No, 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 you've forgotten. And yeah, it has to come up to the throat latch or they don't understand. This is something that we've talked about in years past. They're trained that way, and it was brought out by Jill, who had a nicer neck ring than mine, where she learned it from Linda Tellington Jones, a very, very famous natural horsemanship trainer. Bring that neck ring when you're about to say whoa. You're going to tuck your butt. Maybe don't put your legs into her side. Bring them a little bit forward so she sees your toes. And bring that neck ring up to her throat latch. Pull back, and as soon as she gives you a good whoa, let it come back down again.
Who?
Okay, all right. We need practice on that, because we need to get her not to become up-headed. You see how she got up-headed?
It's coming off on the one side.
Oh, the neck ring is falling apart?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll fix that. We try to home make everything around here.
Do you want to leave it on, or?
Just, can you do it one more time? I'd like to see her give you a better whoa without bringing her head up, which shows stress.
Ooh.
It shows lack of collection. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, a little bit of concern. We don't want to stop on that note. We're going to stop on our note of resolution if we can find it. So you're going to put the reins behind the horn. You're going to think about doing it with tucking your butt, bringing your toes a little bit forward, very clearly saying whoa, and at the same time, try not to lean forward. You're going to use the neck ring. Oh, I like that. Very good. That's it. That's our moment of resolution. We'll be practicing, and we'll show you whenever we can progress in our Western dressage thread. We're learning things that dressage can teach us and our horses that will help us do ranch horse versatility here at Shadrack Farms. Wikipedia says that half-pass can be used to improve collection or impulsion, both of which we need here at Shadrack Farms for ranch horse versatility. Katie on Shadrack Triton Semi for a very, very short session today in the arena because Semi and Eve are going to go out on a nice trail ride across some waterways. I looked up on Wikipedia yesterday. What is, according to Wikipedia, the half-pass? And I'm going to read it right quick here while you watch Katie on Semi trying to do it. We know she won't be able to do it. We just want to know by trying to do it what we want to work on some more with Semi, because she's pretty good now at travers and at renvers. But now you got to put it all together. Okay, now I just looked back, and remember in the half-pass you're arced in the direction you're going.
I know, she's not going to do that.
She's not going to do that, says Katie. Okay, the half-pass, according to Wikipedia, is a lateral movement seen in dressage, in which the horse moves forward and sideways at the same time. Unlike the easier leg yield, which he's doing right now, for just a second or two, unlike the easier leg yield, the horse is bent in the direction of travel, slightly around the rider's inside leg. It's a schooling movement that requires the horse to engage the hindquarters and increase its impulsion. Well, of course, engaging the hindquarters is extremely important, especially for cow work. And increase impulsion when you want impulsion, extremely important. It can therefore be used to improve both collection or impulsion. Well, why do we want collection? We want the horse to be soft and light, and collection helps with that, and it helps with the reach that you want. When you're moving in any direction, you want the legs to reach. You want the neck to come down and yet the pole to break at the pole. You've got so many things to do when you want collection. So half-pass is just one of them. Can you possibly arc her with your right hand?
Then she'll just turn out of it.
Then she'll do what out of it?
Turns out.
Turns out. Okay. Let's try one more time and then off to the trail ride on the waterways challenge. We want to make sure Semi will still go across water, and we're taking Eve along because she did go across water the other day and was real good about it. Not bad, except that arc in the neck is in the wrong direction. Okay, we're putting it all together. We're going to keep working our cows and tilling our fields. I like the crossover. We're definitely getting the leg crossover. It's just the arc that's not right. It's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl. See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.